All right, it says I'm live. This is my first time streaming on YouTube. I've streamed on Twitch a few times before, but hello. I'm gonna do something a little different today. I'm gonna stream some attempts for Rapidash. This probably will make its way into a video at some point, assuming I can get a decent playthrough. One thing that I kind of wanted to tackle with this today, I thought it'd be a little bit interesting. Oh, hello there, D1D. How's it going, man? Good to have you here in the chat. I guess this is confirmation that I am in fact live. Uh, One thing that I think that you may get the impression if you just watch my produced videos and you don't play a whole lot yourself, you might think that like these runs are pretty smooth, like things go well. I thought it might be a little bit interesting to do some live attempts and maybe you can see when things don't go so well, like getting walled at Blaine for 10 attempts in a row or something. But hey, let's play some Rapidash. Oh, you still need to run the Kanto version of the horse. Well, let's see if you've got some. See if you can pick up some pointers here today. I have, by the way, I will mention. I have already optimized this, so this is not my first attempt. I may do that in the future. I might do some like first attempt playthroughs um, for fun on the stream, but this is uh, this is a Pokemon that I've already poured considerable time into. So I have a little bit of an idea of what I'm doing. I know like what route that I want to play. Now it's just a matter of playing well and getting the luck that I need. So both of those things, very important. All right. And let me just make sure I'm connected to Pokebite. I don't think I am. All right. That's going to be pretty important. Obviously, I'm managing encounters like I usually do. Yeah, from yellow to red and blue, there are some significant differences. I think the main thing is that it's going to be a lot easier for Rapidash in red and blue. There are some Pokemon that struggle with red and blue more than with yellow, but fire types are usually not those types. Uh, Rapidash does really well against red and blue. I would imagine because it's almost exactly the same except for a couple key fights. So Blaine is harder in yellow, Giovanni is harder in yellow, and the only Pokemon or the only trainer that might be harder in red and blue is Lance. I think Lance would be harder for Giovanni in red and blue because he's more of a physical attacker and you can't mimic Ice Beam. So many fire types, including Rapidash, will want to they'll want to mimic Ice Beam to deal with the dragons after taking care of Gyarados. I've got a warning here. The stream. Let's see. Am I still sounding good? D1, can you give me a little update? Do I sound good? Do I look good? Is there any problem with the stream? Oh, it's saying my bit rate is lower than the recommended bit rate. Do I look a little bit choppy or anything? No problems. Okay. I guess we're fine. Maybe I'll look at that later. As long as the stream looks good, we'll just we'll hop into some playthroughs. Also send it via Discord. No, I can see your comments there. D1, appreciate you. Okay. got sidetracked there by potential tech issues, but luckily there are none. So got the mapper loaded. Now I've got to edit my starter. I'm not using the randomizer, by the way. I'm using Scott's more recent overlay, which is supposed to be a little bit better if you don't have well, it's supposed to be a little bit better for like load. Hello, Jack Edwards. Thanks for joining. Rapidash was always such a disappointment to me as a kid. Looks like it should be a beast. And no flamethrower. Yeah. We're going to feel the pain of no flamethrower, by the way. It really stinks to have Ember and then not really get an upgrade until Fire Spin, which isn't very good. And then Fire Blast. But woof, do you feel unlocked when you hit Fire Blast? All right, let's start a playthrough up. There will probably be a false start in here at some point. There usually is. Like early on when I'm not warmed up. This is my first run of the day, but we'll see how things go. I'm also going to attempt to play on the OBS screen. I don't think there's very much lag. It seems like it's happening basically at the same time. So if I look at this monitor, I've got a 2-monitor setup. I'll actually be able to look at OBS at the same time I look at the chat. I think Rapidash, what? Mew? Outrageous. So this happens. This happens sometimes. Okay. Let's not play with Mew. Love you, Mew. It was fun playing with you in the race, but I've played enough of you, and we need a little bit of a break. Me and you, you know? It's not you, it's me. I need a little bit of a break. Okay. It will default to Mew if I don't set it in Pokebite to Rapidash because I'm not using the randomizer. Okay, and let's record a replay too, and let's go again. I knew there'd be a false. What? Where? Why is Mew there? I literally just changed it. Wait, this I must have two. I must have Pokebite up twice or something. Something is going on here. There shouldn't be. I just set it to Rapidash. It shouldn't be a Mew. Yep. I had 2 instances of Pokebite up. Okay, let's try loading the mapper again. Thanks for bearing with me here. I'll have to pin a comment that says when my playthroughs actually start. But I'm not going to have too high of expectations for myself with the live streams. This is kind of expected with the first time that I'm going live on YouTube that we'd have something. Okay, let's try. Start recording replay. It's recording. Let's see if we can manage to play with Rapidash. What? No! No! All right. How? I'm gonna exit out of Pokebite. We're gonna launch this over again. We're going to map Yellow. By the way, if you haven't played this game yourself, anyone watching the VOD, it's a lot of fun to play. And usually the technology isn't that hard to find out either, or figure it out. But got a lot of moving pieces here. Okay. Looks good again. Let's see if we can get a run going. set my starter to Rapidash. And go. How? How? Why is there a Mew there? Are you kidding me? I'm going to lose my mind. This is not a problem that I anticipated. I was busy before the stream, like making sure I had audio and everything else working. And I've never had this problem before where it just keeps going back to Mew. All right. I'm gonna for science. I'm gonna go here and see, because I just changed my starter again. Let's see if it actually gives me the correct one. No. All right. I'm gonna start a new game. Unload and load the mapper again. Okay. Should I do a Mew stream today? Should I change the thumbnail? Bear with me. I'm going to close out of everything. When in doubt, close out of everything and retry. Yeah, exactly. Close out of everything. All right, now nothing is here. Close out of the browsers, out of Pokebite, out of everything. Out of Super Shucky. Okay, now we need to load the overlay again. The overlay looks so beautiful when it's loading. You can see the matrix behind it. All right, Rapidash. We've got the white background here. Let's maybe change that to something more appropriate. There we go. Can we do it, chat? I'm looking right now at Pokebite, and it says I have a Rapidash. Okay. I am going to pull an audible here and just open up an old version of this so that we don't get stuck on mute forever. This should work. I'm going to have to reload it. I hope the encounters work okay because it's like an older version. But it should be okay, I think. We want the Doduo. All right. Let's see. It gives a random Pokemon here in this older version. Let's just hope that it's like blocking encounters and stuff. I don't want like a technology mismatch. But the good news is we're not playing Mew. So big win there. Rapidash, 65 hit points, 100 attack is really good. 70 defense is pretty workable. 105 speed is incredible. And 80 special. So you might look at those stats and say, hey, that's a good Pokemon, you know? Like that's a very capable Pokemon. And it's true. But the one thing, I guess there's two things that really hold Rapidash back. One is that its move pool, it doesn't get Flamethrower. Although the rest of the move pool is pretty decent for a fire type, it doesn't get Flamethrower and it doesn't get Dig. So those are two really big things that hurt it. Usually most fire types get Dig, like Arcanine gets Dig, Charizard gets Dig, and Earthquake. That ground coverage is really nice for fire types. And when you don't get it, you're stuck using fire and normal type moves. So Rapidash is going to have to get through most of the game with things like Ember, Stomp, Body Slam, this sort of thing. And the other thing that holds it back besides Learn Set is its HP stat. Because with a pretty good defense at 70 and a pretty good special at 80, you'd think it wouldn't feel frail, but it actually does feel frail. And that's mainly because its HP stat is really low. It's not blocking encounters, is it? I was worried about this. All right. I don't want to get through Mount Moon. Webcam going out some? All kinds of technology problems. Well, if you're here, I really appreciate you being here. I expected some tech issues on the first go around. Oh, the gameplay was choppy as well? Okay, let me see if I can... That's good feedback. Let me see if I can fix that. This is going to be a learning stream. See. D1, do you ever stream on YouTube? Been like 2 months. I'm streaming through OBS. Let's see. Okay. Pyro Horse is not going as well as I would like because for some reason I keep hitting tech issues. So just trying to work through some stuff. So far we got to Viridian Forest and encountered a Pidgey when we were supposed to have encounters off. So it hasn't gone super great so far. Not dropping any frames at the moment. I wonder if it just kind of starts dropping once Pokebite was starting to struggle. I may have had the wrong overlay open. I'm going to try, because I have a couple different versions. I'm going to try with the one that I've been running recently. We'll see if this fixes it. Yeah, I feel you there, Cody. Oh, we have Rapidash back. That's a good sign. Okay. It's Mew. Very odd. All right, we're going to try Frankenstein's monster combination here of using okay, and I have Doduo selected. Okay, let's see. Okay, Eevee is fine. That's what we had when we had Rapidash before. The moment of truth in this run is going to be whether or not we hit encounters in Viridian Forest or not. Although Route 1 encounters were off, weren't they? So that's kind of odd. The glitch Pokemon. Yeah, the glitch Pokemon are all there's something. All right, so little point there is that Stomp is in the 3rd slot. Throughout this playthrough, I'm going to want Stomp in either the 1st slot or I'm going to want it in the last slot, not the 3rd slot ever. Huh. And now thinks I want a Raichu. Come on, Pokebite. Alright, I'm just going to run from this battle and then see if it's starting to work now. See if I hit any more encounters. I am hitting more encounters. Yeah, so Scott did something behind the scenes, Chris, where I think it's supposed to be better for computers to like just reduce the load a little bit, where he switched it from the overlay blocking all of the encounters to having the ROM itself do a lot of that work with a ROM patch. So I've got a patched version of the game, which is supposed to help do this, but it keeps resetting my starter to Mew instead of to Rapidash. And so I tried loading it with a randomized version rather than where, I use the universal Pokemon randomizer to set my starter instead. But that seems to just be not compliant with it because it's giving me encounters. So I think I do have to use the correct version for it to actually work. But for some reason it keeps resetting me to a Mew starter. I really need it to be Rapidash. Oh my gosh, now it's working. And I just did the same thing that I've always done. And here, okay, I think we're good. I hope we're good. Fingers crossed. So this is going to be a Rapidash, I know, because it showed me in the opening thing. So I think Pokebite is connected and working now. And hopefully we have a Rapidash on our hands. In less than 30 minutes. Look at that. If someone just joined, they're going to be like, you had a Rapidash playthrough in less than 30 minutes? It's like, no. We started playing Rapidash in less than 30 minutes. I think this is working. It seems to be working. We're going to know if we hit encounters here on Route 1 and in the forest, but so far so good, everybody. Let's go. I should have said, like, instead of how fast can I go with Rapidash, like, how everyone does, she'd be like, how fast can I stream a Rapidash? How fast? 27 minutes. All right, off we go. Gosh, it'll be great to talk about Rapidash instead of tech issues. That's going to be fantastic. Look at me skipping that mark. We don't need a Pidgey. We don't need a Pokeball. We're not going to be buying any Pokeballs or picking up any Pokeballs. We are going for Great Balls. Okay. Well, wait a minute. I'm looking at my OBS and I'm not seeing an overlay. Let me pause quickly. I think I need... Where's my overlay? No one's seeing my overlay, right? You're just seeing the game in my webcam. Okay. Better. All right, nice. Now you've got the overlay too. Real-time timer is going to be just slightly off, but that's okay. If it's an awesome run, then I'll just re-record it, but you can assume that like whatever you see here, it's like 5 seconds faster. Yes, we have a good-looking overlay situation now, so that's good. By the way, I kind of like Rapidash on the black for practice run. With Super Shucky being black and my background being black, I think it's kind of nice to indicate that like this is a live playthrough. And then if I turn this into a produced video in the future, I'll do my normal sort of aesthetic where I put like the red fire background or some sort of a themed background there. Trying to get better at like clicking on the trainers instead of letting that little exclamation mark show up. So even if it's a little bit out of the way, just clicking on that guy. And then we're going to fight Brock without healing, without saving, because this is how I play the game. This is not a first playthrough attempt. If it was a first playthrough attempt, then sure, go ahead and save. But here, if Brock gets me, then I'm just, you know. Okay. I'm going to growl there. Oh no. Okay. Let's start recording a new one. Oh, I forgot to reset it from you. That's okay. Nobody panic. Nobody panic. All right, we got it. You missed me losing to Brock. But that's okay. No tech issues. So that's a big win. I can lose to Brock like 3 times in a row now, and I'm still going to have a good mood because I'm not dealing with a tech issue. Knock on wood. So I'm fighting Brock after just fighting all of the trainers. All the bug catchers, I should say. I'm not fighting the optional last. I'm fighting all the bug catchers, and that gives you level 10 for Geodude, which is over a damage rounding threshold, and you get decent ranges. So I think that makes sense for Rapidash. You could technically get aggressive and go at a lower level, but there's no real reason to, I don't think. I'm not sure it would make it much faster, if any faster, and it would be way riskier. So I think this is the right solution for Rapidash. With fire types in general, I think it makes sense to do a little extra training in the early game because Rapidash is going to need a little bit of extra help to get past Misty. So you're going to need a little extra training anyway. Oh, I'm not going to the mart there. So I do think it makes sense when you've got easy training against the bugs. You've got Ember, you're one-shotting a lot of them. Like, you may as well take those one-shots. Now, I'm not one-shotting the first 2 Caterpie, but those first 2 Caterpie are leveling me up so that I am getting one-shots on, like, the next 5 bugs and a small percentage chance after that to one-hit the final mandatory one. So like, see, these 3 are all going to be one-shots. They wouldn't be one-shots if I didn't fight the first trainer. So it makes the first trainer look inefficient, but if you take out that first trainer, then that trainer is inefficient. So I think it works out pretty well. And then this second Metapod is a range. We got it this time. So that's kind of nice. That can be a 2-hitter. And then this one, I think we only get a 1-hit if we crit, or maybe at the very high, like a very high roll. status condition junior trainer is not a problem, but he does give nice experience here. So we're going to fight him and we're going to stomp the Diglett for a 2-shot and the flinch chance. I haven't really talked about it yet, but you saw it there. Stomp is excellent. An excellent move for Rapidash. In fact, I'd even go so far as to say it's probably Rapidash's MVP move. There's a lot of Pokemon that we're not going to be able to one-shot, but the flinch chance is going to be really good. Oh, the burn is really nice there. 2 burns? Oh, yeah. We're just going to fight through this bide. Look at that. That's a pretty quick Brock split. 315, 317, something like that. Pretty sweet. Yeah, Stomp is like almost exactly the same as Headbutt. It's 5 base power lower, which, I mean, 5 base power rarely matters. So it's basically the same as Headbutt, and Headbutt's an incredible move. Yeah, that was really good. I am going to take a safety heal here. Not strictly necessary. I could take on... oops, that's supposed to be a Stomp for the flinch chance. I could take this guy on without it, but... against a lot of... well, with a lot of Pokemon, you want to fight the top guy, or the top girl, the lass. But fighting the bug catcher here makes sense because we have Ember. We can take those one-shots. I'm even going to go so far as fighting a bug catcher in Mount Moon. And that's just because I need a tiny bit of experience. But yeah, the bugs in general, we're kind of just feasting on them. This is the guy I was talking about. Notice we have 3 embers left. So we're going to be stomping our way through the rest of it. But that's okay as long as we don't get stomp disabled against the Grimer. Because we're not doing any other training here in the cave. In general, you really don't want to do early game training. We're only going to do enough early game training so that we hit level 23 for Misty, which is the target level there. It's still a little bit sketchy, by the way, level 23 against Misty. But lower than that, the odds are really bad. So I'm going to go and switch to Stomp in the top slot. From here on out, it's going to be in the top slot for a long time until the late game. And we didn't get Stomp disabled in that fight, so that's excellent news. By the way, to be really safe, I could have healed before going into Mount Moon. You notice that our PP is a bit low, but we really have enough to always get through. Yeah, 3 PP left. It's a little tight, but it's not the worst thing. Over an hour to get past Brock. Oh, that sounds awful, Cody. Oh no. That's like Abra levels of struggle. We're going to switch to Ember on the Sandshrew because that's the only move that gets us a 2-shot. And we dodged the sand attack there, so that's really good. Okay, I got growled, so I'm going to switch to Ember here. Also, managing PP is a good idea. Because I want to actually go through this whole section and fight Misty before I heal again. This is the last time that I'm going to use Ember for a little while, except as chip damage. So Stomp is better in this next section. There are some Pokemon which are 1-hits, and when they're not 1-hits, we have flinch chances. So either way, Stomp is going to be our go-to move here. The only thing we're going to want to do is switch to Ember when we don't get a 1-shot like that, sometimes just to manage PP a little bit. That's a range that's a little unfortunate. It didn't get the range there. Rapidash is one of those Pokemon where it's really interesting. Like, when things are working, it seems like a dominant Pokemon. It really does. Like, when it's got a high crit rate, 20% crit rate. So when it's getting crits and when it's getting flinches, it looks completely dominant. And when it's not getting those things, it looks like it's just slogging through the game. Well, I guess because it is. Stomp should be a one-shot on the Zubat, so I switched to Ember there. Use our last Stomp on the Zubat. Yes. We're picking that up, believe it or not, for money. Money's a little tight because we're going to get 3 calcium later to improve our special. That's going to be important for the late game. And if you're starting to get anxiety about my health, I am going to heal. I was just holding off on the heal until we get the elixir because we only want to open the bag once if we can help it. And then we will go ahead and use a couple potions. All right. I probably should have switched to Ember there. Okay, nice. Got a crit, so that saves us a PP. That's good to see. These two are both one-shots, and then Ember is going to take care of the other ones. We are going to pick up the Ether here right after fighting the last. That Ether is going to be important so that we don't have to heal until after Misty. The Pidgey is a range with Ember, but I didn't want to move my cursor. I could get a guarantee if I moved it to Stomp. But these are the kind of like little micro decisions you have to make in every run. It's like, do you accept a technically suboptimal play? And in which way do you want to be suboptimal, right? So like the optimal way to go fast is to accept the range and just hit the range. The acceptable way, or the best way to play like objectively, if you're just talking about like winning fights, is clearly to switch where your cursor's at. So there's a little bit of a balance of risk reward there every time you play the game. Okay, we need to save 6 stomps for Misty. So I'm going to switch to Ember here because it's going to take 2 stomps to get through the Goldeen. Horn Drill is really good. Horn Drill is really, really good for Rapidash. Oh, potion and save. Now, I did mention that level 23 was our goal for Misty. I did not mess up the experience, thankfully. We are getting it after the Staryu. So here, this gives us a 3-hit with Stomp, unless, of course, she X-defends, but we made it through, and that's not bad. So we did need a little bit of luck there. Now, it may not have looked like it was especially lucky, but getting the crit on the Staryu did matter. I think we probably lose, or it's a range there, and we all got hit with Water Gun from the Starmie there instead of Bubble Beam. So there are definitely ways that fight can go wrong, but we're kind of relying on like at least 1 crit, at least 1 flinch, this sort of thing to get through. There's an interesting decision coming up, which is whether or not I pick up Rest on the SSN. Now, in my routing as recently as like a few days ago, I was picking up Rest. 5 super potions. I picked up an extra repel there for good reason. That may be needed later. But I am no longer going for Rest. More on that later. We are going to use both Stomp and Body Slam. So the argument for Rest is that maybe you need it on Lance's Gyarados. Oftentimes fire types do need it in one of 3 places. So after Lance's Gyarados is one place you might need Rest. After Lorelei's Slowbro, like after you set up, okay, this is fine. Let's not miss forever though, please. We are kind of missing forever, but we finally hit. So Lorelei is one place, Lance's Gyarados is one place, and the champion fight is one place. So like if you have to eat a Sand/Earthquake, for instance, that's a place where you might need to heal afterwards. In red and blue, you honestly may need Rest. Probably not. You probably don't need it. Because most fire types have to tank a hydro pump from Gyarados to get through. We're not going to do that. We are going to Horn Drill Gyarados and be on full health. So, oh, I forgot to heal. One thing too is if he uses an X speed, I'm supposed to switch to Body Slam for the paralysis upside. Yeah, first loss to Surge feels bad. Surge is not a great trainer, but he is a dangerous trainer. I mean, in yellow he's kind of scary for a lot of Pokemon. Yes, there's also an interesting choice about Reflect. Reflect is another one of those moves. And I am actually going to take a quick break. This was not scheduled, but I need to take a restroom break. Nature calls. Be right back. All right. I'm back. Okay. So once again, we had the pause, so the timer's going to be a little off. This is typical, though. I'm a father of two, so I'm kind of used to pausing at some point anyway, because I have to help out being a dad and then go back to finishing my run when I can. So no worries. We just pick up where we left off, and there we go. Okay, here we need to switch repels up near the top, bike at the very top, cut down the tree, cut down the other tree. And you might think it's Ember, but funny enough, we do more damage with our higher attack stat using Body Slam here. Also, I think the Bellsprout and Oddish have a little bit higher special than they do physical defense. So this is actually the way to knock them out. However, these bugs have low special, and so using Ember is better against them. The Venonat's not even a one-shot with Body Slam, I don't think. I picked up an extra repel there because there is a chance we need to use it later. And I'm using Stomp over Body Slam because I'm faster than these Slowpoke. It's going to take several hits to knock them out anyway. And I want the flinch chance, which you just saw there was really, really handy. Same thing here against the grass types. You might think Ember, but no, it's better to go for Stomp and Flitch chances. Those ones are not actually going to be a one-shot with Body Slam. So if you can't get the one-shot, go for the two-shot with Flinch. Because it's basically like you have a 30% chance of one hitting. Really? Okay. Oh, I meant to heal before I fought him. This is going to be sketchy. All right, I'm going to need like a burn, maybe a lot of defense curls, maybe a crit. Oh, that's lucky. We take that. We will take that. First try victory against the self-destructing Hiker. He's a real threat for Rapidash. That's not a joke. That guy's not a joke for us. Ember doesn't do that much damage against him. But it's like definitely our best option. So yeah, he's scary. And if he hit on Rock Throw, that would have taken us out too. Stomp, by the way, that is a two-shot there, unless we get the one shot with a crit. Yes, better to be lucky than good. It's better to be lucky. It's betterest to be lucky and good. But if you can't be good, then certainly it helps to be lucky. Okay. I'm grabbing that PP up. You might think it's for Horn Drill, but actually it's for Fire Blast. These are mostly stomps as well, by the way. The Gloom is a stomp into Body Slam. The other ones are just stomps. And we got the Flinch. These Pokemon control you with statuses if you don't get the Flinch. So we always go for the Flinch there. And against Erica, it's pretty trivial, this fight. But it's a 3-hit with Ember. The worst thing is going to do is kind of waste our time. Body Slam. Oh, no, I don't want Tail Whip. Body Slam's a 2-shot against Weeping Bell, and we need that. And then Gloom's going to be a 3-shot no matter what, so we just use Stomp for the Flinch chances. So all these are mapped out. I'm not going to say that I've figured everything out, but certainly I've put effort into understanding what the optimal attack is in each case. Against not just the gym leaders, but also against the regular guys. Koga is not Stomp or Body Slam. Actually, you can Body Slam the Venomoth, but the Venonats we have a different solution for. I'd say the next problem point here for Rapidash, well, Rapidash has a lot of problem points. I'm going to level with you. It is not the easiest Pokemon to play, but it is a fun Pokemon to play because when things are clicking, it's really quite good. But I'm going to have to be quiet now because I have to focus on selling the right items. Okay, $9.97. Pretty good money management there. We just need to make sure that we actually catch the Doduo in our first 4 tries. We'd have to be pretty unlucky for this to not work out, but it is possible. Doduo has broken out of 4 balls before. Okay, not this time. That's good. Things have been clicking so far. Yeah, things have been pretty good. Repels. We need to toss those great balls. And we need to teach Fly. And we need the calciums. And let's fly over here. The rival is not scary, but the ghosts actually kind of are. We Ember first there, by the way, the play against mirror move. Hello, Emra. Thank you. All right. So the rival was trivial, as you can see. But Agatha Jr. is kind of terrifying. We're saving for this fight, and this is why I bought the extra repel earlier. Because if we don't win, we're going to have to use a repel here. It will have overwritten our repel. Okay, we won. We're fine. We're good. Parafusion can be an absolute nightmare there. What? What? I thought I used a repel. Oh, must have thought I clicked it and I didn't. Parafusion can be an absolute nightmare there. And you're 3-hitting with embers if you don't get like a crit. So the single ghastlies are not that scary. You almost always get through them. I say that and I jinxed myself there. I almost lost. You almost always get through a single ghastly and then you can heal afterwards like that before you fight the second one. So it's not that big of a threat. But Agatha Jr. with 2, quite scary. Yeah, this one's beating up on me. I don't like that I've had to use 2 super potions already. Typically, that's reserved for like later on in training because I am going to have to do, I don't want to call it extensive training, but pretty good amount of training with Rapidash. So if I get beat up here by Jesse and James too much, I'm going to heal. But I'm actually going to Silph after this. Oh, I'm going to have to heal. I don't want to use my full restore. I'm going to go to Silph after this to do additional training. And then not fight Rival 5 until we have Fire Blast. So I'm going to be just going there for training because they have some of the best training in the game. Which is, I think, pretty common for mid-tier Pokemon, and especially mid-tier fire Pokemon. By mid-tier, what I mean is every fire type that's pretty good. And not pretty, every fire type except for Charizard. I should say it like that. Every fire type except for Charizard probably needs to do it. And maybe even Charizard to pick up like, oh, no, I didn't want to fight him. Go away. So painful. A 3-hit on the coughing too. I guess I should have double body slammed it. That person is not obviously part of the plan. No, we're not going to do the fighting dojo. Thankfully, we don't have to do that much training. The fighting dojo is really like I don't want to call it a last resort, but it's like the kind of training that you really wouldn't ever do with a fully evolved Pokemon that's competent. You would definitely do it with like some first stage Pokemon for sure. Like you're just kind of desperate for any trainer experience, you would do it. But oh, Gen 1 miss on Stomp. Yeah, we really don't want to fight the fighting dojo if we can help it. Okay, I'm going to Super Potion, and then we bought a lot of antidotes earlier. Rapidash actually gets poisoned pretty often because we don't have a ground type move to knock out all the poison types efficiently, and there are a lot of poison types. So it's quite common to get poisoned if you're a Rapidash. Nice. Got the paralysis upside there. We're almost done with training, by the way. We are training in Silph, but it doesn't mean that we're like training indefinitely in Silph. Like we're not going to do like a circle around it and fight all the trainers. We're just hitting like the premium trainers, like the really, really good trainers to knock out. We're just taking them out. And then we're digging out of here after we get the secret key. Nice. Okay. Notice we've got 1 Stomp PP and 0 Body Slam PP. This is kind of by design. Because we don't want to like slow down and use an elixir there if we can help it. And there's efficient training to be had over here as well. So we're going to fight just the 2 really good bikers. There's the biker at the top with the 2 Weezings. And there's the biker at the bottom, which Scott calls the biker boss. Both of those are really good training. Switching to body slam for coughing just to get the 2-hit on it, or 1-hit upside with crit, and then back to stomps for this wheezing. And you can see how beautiful stomp is when we're getting the flinches. It feels so good, honestly. Okay. Oh, that's a fast PP up too. Let's go. We're picking up all 3 PP ups, by the way. I think we have all 3 now. It's quite good. Oh, no. All right, this doesn't actually matter that much. We're going to take poison. It's mostly just it slows us down. We're not going to lose to these guys. I think I can probably go ahead and use a full restore here too. It's probably a good time to use full restores. Save some time over using a super potion and an antidote. And we're just fighting the jugglers here. Body slams are range on the drowsies, so this can either go really fast or it can be kind of slow. But we hit the range on the first 2 drowsies. Oh, and a crit on the 3rd one. That's beautiful. And looky at what we just learned. Fire spin. Our answer against Koga. The flinch there is really nice. Oh, and a crit. All right, we don't even have to heal before Koga. That's awesome. All right, we're going to save. Plan is fire spin to get the Venonats injured, and then 1-hit them with Ember after that. Or sometimes we just win with fire spin. That's okay too. Oh, 2 crits to start. That's awesome. Okay. And Ember. Okay, now we're going to switch to body slam. We want to give this Venomoth as few turns as possible because it's scary. Not only can it psychic us for massive damage like it did there, but it can also kind of troll us by like setting up toxic and double team. First try Koga is really, really excellent there, by the way. Really, really excellent. That's one that I kind of expect to take 1 or 2 resets on. So we feel really good about that. Yep. I think we are going to need this probably, full restore. Toss that super potion, by the way, because we're going to end up in bag space issues very soon if we don't toss it. Oh, what? I don't have room. I just tossed it. What? TM45. Huh, I thought I needed to sell that for the money. I guess I didn't. I guess I should be skipping that. Okay. Using a repel there. Teaching surf. Teaching strength. By the way, it is weird switching back and forth between the Lapras and the Squirtle because you have to teach them in the opposite order. And I'm playing a little bit of red and blue these days too. And sometimes it's just better to use Lapras than Squirtle, even in... Oh. I need to not forget my routing. 4 candies here so that we don't get nearly as many wild encounters. And then good training here against Psych. Oh. I accidentally used Horn Drill. I meant to use Body Slam, which is a range against the Seeking, by the way. The question is, do I use a PP restoring item now? I really want to have 5 Horn Drills in case I need it, but I don't think I should. I think I should carry on with 4. We're likely to hit in our first 4 tries. We are using this against Blaine, by the way. Yes, the accidental Horn Drill. You gotta hate when that happens. Blaine is a serious problem, and I think D1D said that he was considering Reflect in a number of places. Blaine is certainly one of those places where reflect, you could consider it, because the physical moves hit quite hard. But I actually ended up opting to not use reflect here. And the reason for that is that I've decided to go with horn drill instead as my answer. I'm going to switch to stomp here against the Rapidash because it's a 3-hit against the Rapidash. I really need to not hit myself. All right. Blaine is a problem, by the way. Blaine is a serious problem. The Rapidash is a menace. And it's the easiest Pokemon that I fight on his team. Okay. Switching the stomp. Hopefully we get a flinch or two. Oh! All right. Horn drill. Horn drill. Go. Go. Oh boy. Here we go. The main problem is that I keep getting confused against the Ninetales. That's the main issue. If we don't get confused against the Ninetales, we're in much better shape for the rest of the fight. Oh, the Rapidash can also growl us, which is why I ended up using Horn Drill here, because it's so hard to take out the Arcanine once you get an attack drop. It's a very... Oh, no. What? All right. I have not done a good job with my PP management, or my my bag management this game. But thankfully, okay, we don't need Horn Drill anymore. But the fights have gone okay, so we're actually like at a decent time here. 32 minutes with Blaine already down, about to take on Rival 5. Look, it's not like an elite Pokemon time here, but it's something. It's not terrible. It's not awful. Okay. Probably could skip the save there. I'm gonna go straight for Fire Blast, which is accurate enough that it'll probably work out. The main loss condition there is getting clamped against the Cloyster for like a really long time, or getting confused. Okay. Sand Attack is just wasting my time. And it's down. And I need to remember to not pick up the Lapras. We don't need the Lapras for any reason. Oh, yeah. We're going to use PP ups on Fire Blast. Okay, I did pick up a full restore, so now I think is a good time to use that. And PP ups. Where are the PP ups? There we go. I need more Fire Blast PP. That's going to be especially important for Agatha, but it's also nice here because it saves us from using an elixir. Sub 50 prediction from Cody Smith. Let's see. I wonder what people's expectations were for Rapidash going into this playthrough. I've run it a few times. I'm not going to share what my best run is yet, at least not until after. Oh my gosh. I looked away from the screen. Where am I going? Oh my god, I hate this. What is happening right now? I started talking and looking at the webcam and I forgot like where I was in here. This is awful. I have no idea where I am. I never end up just like freestyling through here. Okay, all right. Great. That was the worst navigation in Sabrina I've ever seen. And I did it. I thought I had it like muscle memory. I was looking at the webcam. I was like, yeah, I know where I'm going. And then I looked up and I was like, where am I? Where am I? What happened? I think we probably wasted like 30 seconds there. Sabrina, the psychic type, she got us with like the room of mirrors. It's like, where am I? Where am I? expectation for maybe it was between 45 and 50 minutes. All right, let's see. Oh, come on. All right, I guess I have to fire spin now. I don't want to waste all my fire PP. I thought that was a one hit. So earlier I tossed the super potion. I would kind of like that super potion now. I'm going to do something really suboptimal and just go back and heal here. It's not good, but I'm out of healing items. And Giovanni is actually not Lance, not the champion. Giovanni is the hardest trainer that I have to fight in this whole playthrough. So I really need to be at full health for it. And I am going to be using agility. All right, wish me luck. The plan here is to set up badge boosts against the Persian to get myself into fire blast range against the Nidos. Then I'm going to have to fire spin down the Rhydon. And you see why I needed full health. Because the Persian likes to attack. And that's a range, by the way. I'm actually hoping, what I'm really hoping for is that the Persian screeches us, because that turns the Nidos from like favorable ranges into guarantees if we hit. So like 85%. So like, for instance, I'm not that happy that the Persian missed, and I gave it an extra chance to screech me, and it did. So as long as we connect on a fire blast here, yep, then we're going to get to the Rhydon. We still are not out of the woods yet, because we have to hit with... Oh... Nice. I was going to say we had to hit with a minimum of 4 fire spins. Or 3 fire spins if we're badge boosted before we can go for the knockout. So second try Giovanni is really good, actually. Now this pace that we're on is okay. It's not like a great pace. But if we get a quick Lance and a quick champion... Quick Agatha. Look, there's a lot that needs to go right for Rapidash. But if the last 3 fights go well, I could PB on this pace. I could PB. It's possible. Yeah. Okay. I am going to do a little bit of training, by the way, in Victory Road. Not a lot of bit of training, just a little bit of training. There are 2 cool trainers which give over 5,000 experience for their whole team, which is like excellent experience yields. And I'm picking up this rare candy. So we're using every rare candy except for the power plant candy, which I think is pretty typical for mid-tier Pokemon like Rapidash. You really want to use all the candies. And not every Pokemon can afford to do Victory Road candy, or Victory Road training, rather. But the Pokemon that can do Victory Road training really should. Okay. Fire Blast and then Body Slam. So this trainer is really, really good experience. And then the other one that we're going to fight, well, I'll let you find out. Not the best navigation with the bike, but not the worst either. It's definitely been worse before. It's definitely been worse. Okay. Not too bad. Okay. Last Super Repel. In case you're wondering, that wasn't an accident. I ran into this one on purpose. This is the trainer I'm supposed to fight for my experience routing. I guess it's just over level 58, which is pretty good. So this is going to give us good damage ranges on Lorelei. And you notice that we're not like right at 58, we're a little past it. That's also good, because typically with a medium fast Pokemon, you want to be level 54 going into the league, and then you're going to be like leveling up after each trainer to maintain badge boosts. We're a little bit higher of a level, so we actually need to be offset with our experience a little bit. And I need to teach Mimic. Where are you, Mimic? There we go. We are done with Fire Spin now, thankfully. I don't love using that move. I really don't. Okay, we're gonna Body Slam. Okay, and we need it to rest. Okay, it didn't rest. Okay, please rest. Yeah, we need a compliant Lorelei. So like the whole league is a problem except for Bruno, basically. And even Bruno is not as free as you might expect. Oh, turn 1 rest is amazing. Okay, there we go. Okay. Fire Blast. Good. Mimic. Amnesia. We need 2 Amnesias set up. Okay. You see that second surf did way less damage. Body Slam, and then 1 shot on Lapras if we don't crit. Nice. Okay, not too bad. Couple quick resets there. We need the candy and the full restore up here. Let's go. Be kind, Bruno. I have lost to Bruno before. Look, it's probably not going to happen, but I have lost to him. I missed against Hitmonlee, and then it crit me with a high jump kick, did so much damage, and then I got finished off by the Onyx. So you can lose that fight. Okay. Full restore, rare candy. That's the last rare candy there. It lines up experience pretty well. Oh, elixir. Slight misplay there. All right, save again. Let's go. Mimic, substitute. Oh, the switch out is really good, actually. Because this Golbat is pretty incompetent once we've got a substitute up. If we didn't have Fire Blast PP up to 8, by the way, this would be a nightmare fight. Because Fire Blast can miss, and it's the only move that we have that can hit ghosts. So even with 8, I've been in this situation before where I ran out of Fire Blast PP. Because like the first Gengar can also set up substitutes and troll you that way too. And if you miss a couple times, like before you know it, you're out of PP. Okay, this goes over Body Slam. All right, now please be kind to us, Lance. Please be kind. We're going to reset immediately if we get hit by Hydro Pump. Because you notice I did not bring rest into the fight. We are relying on getting past this fight with a Horn Drill. And I'm going to reset as soon as I see the icon shake, showing us that Hydro Pump connected. If Hydro Pump misses, then obviously we get another free try. But if it doesn't, then we roll again. We really just need Horn Drill to hit. And we get another free run at it if Hydro Pump misses. But recently it hasn't been wanting to. That's okay. We just really need our Horn Drill to hit. Come on. I get that this looks bad, by the way. It does look bad. But I stand by this. I think this is like definitely the way to go. And sometimes it takes a long time before you get a successful hit. But 30% happens all the time. Like, think about when you're using a 70% accurate move, how often that feels like it misses. Well, that's how often that Horn Drill hits. So, it's pretty good. Hits pretty often. Okay. And then here we Fire Blast. Agility. And Ice Beam. The agility gives us a one-shot, by the way, on the Aerodactyl. And so now the rest of this is trivial. Those are guarantees. Champion time. Full restore. We need to use an elixir. And we need to teach double edge. We no longer need mimic. Here we have ranges. Right, yeah, the chances are higher than 30%. So we actually got a pretty unlucky lance there. All right, we hit that range. That's nice. Level 63 over damage running threshold gives us much better range there too. And we need 2 agilities set up on the Executor. Then Fire Blast away. Oh, the crit's nice. Come on, hit, hit, hit. All right, that's a guarantee. Oh, I thought it was a guarantee. Oh, the burn is so clutch there. Look, go down, go down. Okay. Let's go. Let's go. First try against the champion. Those are kind of sketchy ranges in some cases against the champion, but I think the Cloister is like a very high percentage chance to go down after 2 agilities. We got a little unlucky we didn't get the 1 hit, but then the burn saved us, so that was cool. Okay, so let's talk about how my first playthrough went. Playing on stream, I didn't play as well as I do off stream, but I didn't play too bad. So my PB right now, by the way, this was 46 minutes, 27 seconds, 13 resets, game time of 251. I do have a sub 45 already. Barely. It's like 44.50 or something like that. Oh yeah, I'm running this back. So don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. We're running it back. I'm going to like probably take a short break in between runs, but let's look at the overview together. The run summary. Oh, it doesn't show the... Let me see if I can get it up on screen real quick. I really want to show the window from the EXP router where it shows the run summary. Let me see if it's possible to add that. I'm going to do this on the fly. If it doesn't work, I won't spend too long on it, but we're going to try. Just add it to OBS. Okay. And expand it. Might just make it silly big so that you can actually read it. How's that look? Yep, Cody, you said sub 50 and we did sub 50. Nerdy stat time indeed. I'm going to leave this up here so we can review. Okay, cool. So at a high level, we were solving for a few different things. Stomp solves our early and mid game, getting a lot of flinches and letting us squeeze through fights like Misty, and it's really good for training. Horn Drill saves us levels at Blaine. In my original routing, I was going up to level 50 against Blaine and using Reflect, but if you're using Horn Drill against the Arcanine, you don't really need great damage ranges. I'm accepting a 3-shot against his first 2 Pokemon, going for Horn Drill against the last one. In my previous runs with Rapidash, by the way, I had a play time, in-game time of like 2 hours and 43 minutes. So you can see that I lost about 2 minutes just playing on stream, not playing my best. I'm hoping to clean that up a little bit in my next playthrough. So had I gotten this good of luck, like 13 resets, but most of them were fast resets against Lance. And if I was playing a little cleaner, this could have been a sub 45. So what we're going to go for is a follow-up run. I'm going to try to clean up my play a little bit. Like my bag management wasn't super great. I think I can skip the Thunder Wave TM, which I picked up this last time. I think what happened was I made a double adjustment. So money was a little bit tight, and before I was picking up that item to sell it. But then I realized I don't actually need to pick up 3 Pokédolls. I can pick up 2. The reason you pick up 3 Pokédolls is because it's advantageous to have an extra Pokédoll to clog up the bag if you like don't want Fissure from Giovanni, this sort of thing. But it turns out that I'm teaching so many TMs. I'm teaching Horn Drill. I'm teaching Fire Blast. I'm using my PP ups. I'm actually just emptying too many bag slots late game that I can't really afford, like late mid game. I can't uh I can't afford to reorder that. So whatever I do, those gym leaders are going to talk my ear off and give me the TMs anyway. So if that's the case, it doesn't actually help to buy an extra Pokédoll earlier. So that's 1,000 extra Pokédollars. So I don't need to pick up the Thunderwave TM. I can just instead not buy that, and then I save myself 1,000. Um, Yes, and then I also had the heal before Giovanni, so that was some time bleed too, and part of that was bag management because I tossed a super potion when I was trying to clean up bag space. I was thinking, "Ah, I probably won't need this super potion," but that super potion actually would have been really nice before Giovanni. I could have just used that instead of backtracking the heal. Great point, Cody. So, uh, cleaning up that bag management is going to have a cascading effect. It's also would have saved that Giovanni time as well. So hopefully, cleaning up my play a little bit for the next playthrough, we'll just execute this plan better. I think this game plan is quite good, by the way, and I'll show the late game here too. It is aggressive though, so there's definitely the chance for like Blaine or Giovanni to just ruin our day. Like if Fire Spin misses against the Rhydon, we're just gonna lose. If and I'll show up. I'll pull up the. I think that's probably the most interesting fight. Blaine was interesting when I was using Reflect, but then I realized, okay, it's actually just more optimal to use Horn Drill, so then it becomes a little less interesting. But I think for Giovanni, Horn Drill against the Rhydon is just unacceptable because um, yeah, it's 30% chance at the end of the fight could just be misery. So you can see I've set up 3 agilities here, and with 3 agilities, I've got a 75% chance to one hit the Nidoqueen, a 69% chance against the Nidoking, which is pretty nice, but it's not as nice as you'd like it to be. Late in a fight, using an inaccurate move like Fire Blast anyway, you don't really want it to be a 69% range. Now, that does include the mischance, but I'd rather this be 85%. That's why I mentioned earlier that I don't mind giving the Persian an extra turn if I have the health to play with to let it use Screech. Because while that does make any Earthquake from a Nido or a Rhydon a guaranteed one hit with Screech up, it also makes all these Fire Blasts 85% chance. And then I need less damage against the Rhydon as well. So if I have a 4th badge boost up, I'm likely to do about 75 damage here. I only need 3 fire spins. 3 fire spins plus Fire Blast is excellent ranges to knock out the Rhydon. Without that Screech, 1, 2, 3 agilities, you can see that 3 fire spins would do about 27% damage. With a Fire Blast, I'd need a max roll to actually get a knockout. So it doesn't make sense. You'd have to go for a 4th Fire Spin hit, which probably means you have to connect on Fire Spin twice. So Fire Spin is really likely to hit 2 or 3 times. It's really unlikely to hit 4 or 5 times. So if you get like a 3 hit or better and you have a Screech up, it makes that fight a lot better. Okay. Short break, 2 minutes. I'm going to grab some water, use the restroom. I recommend you grab some water too, and then going to run it back. Try to clean up my play a little bit, better bag management, see if we can get a better run. Okay, be right back. I am back. All right, I'm going to move my windows around a little bit. This shouldn't be visible on stream, but I think I can make my setup a little more comfortable here. And then I'm going to dive into a second playthrough. Cool. Okay. Rapidash 26. Oh, you know what? Let's put up the splits. We'll keep the splits panel on this time. Okay. All right, let's do it. Let me get here and let's make sure we're not playing against Mew. Or not playing with Mew, rather. I really don't know what was going on earlier on stream. And then all of a sudden it just worked. All right, we're going. Saw the Rapidash, good news. Let's see if I can really lock in and play better here. This run may or may not be better than the last run, by the way. I think that 46 minutes something is a pretty good run with Rapidash. I think most people would be really happy with a 46-minute run with Rapidash. However, I'm not like personally satisfied with my play. I do want a better result. But on any given playthrough, there are points in this run that are so risky where even if I play well, I may not outperform. So really the goal for me is to focus on the process, get a lower game time. If I get a lower game time this playthrough, somewhere in the 240s instead of the 250s, then I will be personally happy with this run, like for how well I played. And I just have to trust the process, knowing that, okay, if I keep putting up runs in the 240s with game time, then eventually I will have a run that gets the RNG it needs combined with that to put up a great real time as well. There's definitely a huge variance. That's true, XU. There's definitely a huge variance. Even in playthroughs that you, or even in fights that you win, you know, sometimes Nugget Bridge goes really fast and you're just getting like lots of crits and lots of flinches. Other times you're just, you're critting when you don't need to, like when you already have the ranges, and then you're getting sand attacked and like missing attacks. So yeah, this is how the game goes, right? But if I focus on what I can do, I'm pretty sure that the game time should always be in the 240s, even with like a little bit of bad RNG in the fights. It should still be in the 240s. That 250 something game time that I just had, while not an awful playthrough, I can do better. I'm confident I can do better. Yeah, see, but with Hitmonlee, the high crit rate, like I think you're saying it can work against it, and totally agree, right? You're setting up meditates. With Rapidash, you actually you don't get a great setup move. So like even if you set up 3 agilities, you're gonna do more damage with a crit than you would with 3 badge boosts. So for Rapidash, the crit rate is actually really nice. So a lot of times I'd say like, oh, 20%. Oh, hey Scott, how's it going? Like 20% crit rate can be really painful for you if you've got a setup move, but it's always good for Rapidash. You're always happy when you see a crit. Scott, by the way, when I was setting this stream up, somehow it kept loading up Mew. It really wanted me to do a Mew stream. Like, it was really, really insistent that I play Mew. It took me like 20 something minutes to get it to play with Rapidash. And it's not a problem I ever had until I started up the stream, of course. This is how these things go, right? All right. Do I need to heal? I think I will heal. I don't really feel like playing the early game over and over again. Ember is so good against these early game bugs. I'm even fighting the little bug catcher at the very entrance of Mount Moon, like on purpose. By the way, I do that in my Charizard routing as well, in yellow. It's really funny, but sometimes, like, okay, he gives trash experience, right? Like, it's awful experience. This guy right here, this guy, terrible experience. But sometimes you just need a little bit of experience. And if you just need a little bit of experience and it really doesn't matter who you fight, yeah, you can get like, you can get 2 one-shots there. So you take the 200 experience or whatever it is. Walking is way faster than fighting, by the way. So I think it does make sense to fight that bug catcher with 2 rather than the bug catcher with 3, even though the bug catcher with 3 is just like slightly more on the way. I think it definitely saves net time. We managed to dodge the loss condition there, by the way, which is great. Getting disabled on Stomp and only having 2 uses of Ember left would have been pretty ugly. But oh yeah, you love to see the flinches. Those flinches are just chef's kiss. Rapidash feels so good to play when it's like, when it's getting the flinches and it's getting the crits, it feels really good. All right, rival time. Let's go. Hopefully we don't get too trolled by Sand Attack. Thankfully, Ember is a 2-shot. A lot of physical attackers get stuck into a position where they have to 3-shot the Sandshrew, and then that opens you up to a ton of Sand Attack risk. Thankfully, we're not in that boat. Although the rival got very aggro on us there. It did a lot of damage. Like an uncommon amount of damage. But I would much rather take hits there than lose a lot of PP. Because the less we have to manage our PP on this stretch, the better. We don't want to switch our cursor back and forth between Stomp and Ember, this sort of thing. We'd rather just keep attacking with Stomp when we can. And I just got growled, so I'm going to use Ember here anyway. But okay, sure thing, Scott. Could be your Van Man style background sounds while you play your runs. I am going to play safe here, by the way. Any Pidgey that goes down without Sand attacking you is a good Pidgey. And I am going to switch to Ember here, by the way, because if you're not level 20 yet, this Ekans is unlikely to be a 1-hit. So I'll just accept the 2-hit here and then go for the 1-shot against Zubat. Yeah, Kingdra is going to be a fun one to watch. I'm really interested to see how Kingdra does. fire rock type. That was the wrong order. Don't use potions before the elixir. Hello, Perky Penguin. How goes it? Thanks for coming and hanging out. These are guaranteed one-shots with Stomp. And having 6 Stomp PP is kind of nice. I think last time I had to switch to Embers, and this time I'm hoping I won't have to switch to Embers for PP management against like the Swimmer. Yeah, this is pretty good. So next we're going to fight the Innocent Bystander Rocket. It would be nice if we didn't have to, but we do have to. I really just hate early game training. I really don't want to do early game training. I'd love to just like get into the runs and then do training later when it's more efficient. But I think it would be even worse if we skipped Misty and came back to her later. So I really don't want to do that. So that's why we're accepting a little bit of early game training, like fighting this guy out of order and backtracking a little bit, and also fighting this upcoming Swimmer. We need to use an ether first. That's hard to say. Hypnomis. Yeah, I'm not gonna try again. Hypnosis, and it misses. Okay, that flinch is great. And let's save. We're on a decent pace, by the way. Around 10 minutes at Misty is pretty good. Crit is nice. Bubble Beam did a lot of damage, and we survive. Let's go. 7 health. So you can see that that Misty fight is sketchy. It can go wrong. In fact, I had originally planned when I routed this a while ago for Scott last year. Scott said that he was going to run, and if he's lurking, he's hearing this. Scott said that he was going to run Rapidash last year soon after Arcanine, but I think that long Arcanine stream broke him. So he broke his will, I should say, to use fire types for a little while. So I ended up routing it and then didn't do anything with it. And then I came back to it, and I was going up to level 25 for that fight. So I was actually using 2 rare candies against Misty, which I think does make sense in some contexts. Like, it does make the fight a little more consistent. It is a little better, but 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, just make sure I don't mess up my inventory there. It is a little better, but I don't think it's enough better to justify it, especially since I am not mimicking double team against Giovanni later for Gym 8. So I have to get more levels earlier. And so those 2 candies hurt even more. You really don't want to use early candies when you have to get to level 55 for Giovanni. Okay, well, I didn't want to speak out of turn, Scott. I didn't want to over dramatize it, but yeah, the Arcanine stream was a rough one. And I admire your persistence, by the way. Bad pathing there. That stream was a slog. I thought you were done, and then you're like, let's do one more. Let's train 3 levels higher. Let's see if that fixes it. And so, like, you put a lot of yourself into that stream. Okay, come on. But that's when, I would say that was even like a marathon stream. Yeah, like 5+ hours. It might have even been 6 hours. But we've had 2 streams this year from Scott that were longer than that. And recently, too. Like, I couldn't believe it. We had like 2 8-hour streams with Paris and Onyx. Okay, I need my super potions near the top. This is like awful bag management, by the way. Never do this. Dig. Cut. I'm still learning to play on stream. I need, yes, my super potion. It's so hard to talk and do bag management at the same time. Holy cow. Maybe I should just stop in the middle of my sentence next time to do some bag management. Oh gosh, that was rough. Okay. Surge down. He didn't get us this time. He gave a reset to us last playthrough, so at least we didn't take a reset there. Okay. Got Squirtle. Even though Lapras is preferred now. Squirtle makes sense because we're delaying Rival 5 until after Blaine. Okay, I didn't talk while I managed the bag that time, and it went much better. Oh. Body slam. Gotta grab a sip of water while I can, while those Pokemon are going down, and I don't have to move my cursor. And Ember for the bugs. Yeah, Surge in Yellow is always kind of scary. I mean, the thing that makes Surge bad is that he doesn't know what he's doing. Like, he doesn't make intelligent choices. But if he happens to pick good moves, he's really hard to beat. Mega Punch and Mega Kick hit really hard when they don't miss. Thunderbolt hits really hard always, unless you're like a ground type or something. Oh, look at those flinches. Man. Stomp feels so good when you're getting flinches. Do it again. Oh, nope. This time we got paralyzed. So we're going to have to pull a little bit of a... Oh my gosh. Stop it. I should have switched to Ember, I think. Pull a little bit of an audible here and use our emergency full restore, which we really don't want to do. But we'll have to keep that in mind later on. Save here before this fight. Did I heal? Yes, I did heal this time. Excellent. Last time was very sketchy. The self-destructing hiker is a real problem. Like, if we learned Reflect, like if we could pick up the Reflect TM earlier or something, then okay, the burn before the self-destruct was really nice too, but I don't think it mattered. If we could teach Reflect by then, we would. But because we don't have that, we just don't really have a good way to tank those. I could also use Growl, and I did consider that. Like, if it was just using self-destruct against me, I think Growl would be a good way to get through, because I would definitely survive non-crits by setting up Growls and then just letting them blow up into me. But the problem is that they also know Rock Throw. So it could be a slow fight if I just let them blow up, and they could also like hit with Rock Throw multiple times before they self-destruct. So I don't really like that. I would rather be more offensive and just go for like Ember 3 and 4 hits and kind of hope for the best. Yeah, like you can do it. It's definitely a strategy that I considered. Like it is a way you could win the fight. I think I went with my way for a reason, but I could definitely see an intelligent person going about it a different way as well. That's one of the beautiful things about this game, is that there are actually like a ton of judgment calls. And realistically, you know, if you're not putting in like, I don't know, if you're not putting these things into a supercomputer and running simulations, a lot of stuff, there's a lot of judgment calls and a lot of intuition to these runs. And yeah, that was my thought, Perky, is that Ember does just enough to where you can usually fight your way through it. And if it doesn't self-destruct on you, then you're saving time that way as well. Acid's doing a lot because they got a defense drop there, but even still, Erica is not that scary. Erica would have to go really, really wrong for us to not just win that on arrival. Okay. I'm not too worried about the low health here, by the way, because I think I would survive even a quick attack crit. And Body Slam's a one hit against the Eradicate, so it can't hit with like Hyper Fang or something that would do a ton of damage. And then I've got 1 hits on these Machops coming up as well, because I am picking up Double Edge. Double Edge is only used once, but I think it's worth it because it gives us a 1 hit, a very likely 1 hit on the Champion's Alakazam. Okay, now I'm going to have to be quiet for a second to do inventory management. This is the most bag heavy section. Okay. Oh. Not down. Oh boy, the struggle. The struggle. 10 of those. 4 of those. And then 2 horn drills. All right. Not too bad. Just struggled for a second, but not too bad. Now we just need to make sure that we catch a Doduo. Please. Good. Okay. Super repels. Great balls need to be tossed. Calciums need to be used. 1, 2, 3. Teach fly. And then use a super repel. That was not the cleanest, but it's okay. Yeah, tail whip at level 30 is a decision. Okay, so there's a hilarious thing about tail whip. Tail whip and growl. And that hilarious thing is that, oh no, don't growl me. Come on, stop it. The funny thing about that is that you actually learn both. You learn growl. You start with growl and tail whip, and then you both learn them again. At level 30 and at level 35. So I even tried optimizing around this because that's who I am. I tried optimizing around it by like teaching body slam over the correct one of those. No, I don't need it. I don't need a heal. I just need a save. But you learn both before you overwrite the second one. So it turns out there's nothing to optimize there. If you decline one, then you'll learn the other one. So, okay. Good. Got through. I need to remember to use, like, to spam out or to otherwise get rid of that last repel in my bag. I'd save that one normal repel just so that I have an option here in case I lose and had to, like, resume from save. Okay. Don't. Oh, boy. That was crazy. Okay, I'm going to use the repel now. Oh my gosh. Do you see that? That level 24 Ghastly almost soloed me. By the way, we already used the emergency full restore too, so I'm glad we didn't get a paralysis. I would have had the backtrack. I don't like backtracking. This is a speed run. Rapidash wanted red bar. And no, and I said no. I said no red bar for you, Rapidash. We are not red barring. Okay. I could heal, but I'm not going to. I'm going to take the slightly riskier approach and just super potion here. And then go continue training in Silph. Continue training, comma, in Silph. We haven't fought any optional trainers for a while, so I guess I tried to save the sentence and it just doesn't make any sense. We are going to train in Silph. Saved it? Red bar is still a thing in yellow. Yes, it is. But not as much of a thing. Now I'm kind of regretting my decision to come here directly because we don't have like... Oh my god, are you serious? No, no. I did this last run too. How did I run into the same stupid optional? I almost never run into this guy. Why? No. The struggle is real. Okay, this guy could beat me, actually. I should have healed. The Golbat's kind of scary. Please don't confuse Raimi. It confused Raimi. Please don't. Okay. Okay. I don't have any more healing items, so I have to get through 3 more trainers. Wish me luck. Wish me luck, chat. Okay, this is going pretty well, though. Okay. So yeah, this, you just saw both sides of Rapidash. Frail, looks like it, I mean, it just takes a ton of damage from a choke that's like kind of useless usually. And then like you're like, is this thing good? Like, am I gonna be in big trouble here? And then it just looks completely dominant in the next fight. That's just kind of what this Pokemon is. And now we are gonna use an antidote. Wait, where are my antidotes? There. Okay. 2 body slams should be enough. And here we've got a very satisfying 0 stomp PP, 0 body slam PP. Although it should be less satisfying, and I should not run into that optional trainer. Yeah, I know there's a hyper potion. I maybe even should have grabbed it. You know what? I'm gonna do this. This is awful, but I'm gonna buy a couple more super potions here, because if I don't do that, we're gonna end up in a situation where, like, we want to fight Koga, but then we're afraid to fight Koga. We're gonna end up in a kind of an ugly situation if I didn't pick up some healing items there. So better to invest time on the front end there than end up getting stuck. Probably not even just once, probably multiple times, had we not picked up a couple healing items there. But the game feels bad for me, and it gave me a couple crits and flinches to help me save a little bit of time. Ooh, and then I sniped that rare candy. Let's see if I can get this too. Can I snipe that? Okay, that wasn't bad. Wasn't bad. Stomps against the coughings against the biker boss, by the way, because if you crit, you get a 1-shot with either stomp or body slam. And if it's a 2-shot either way with a regular hit, then you may as well use stomp and go for the flinch chance. Flinch not only saves us like health, it also saves us time in battle, because it's almost like the Pokemon Mist, but I think it's even better than that. Okay, we got poison. That's not a big deal. Okay. We are going to get, oh, fire spin. Yes, we need that over growl. Okay, let's antidote, and then I need to move my super potions up near the top. 3rd slot. Always the 3rd slot for the potions. 1st slot is the bike. 2nd slot is repels. Oh, that was very friendly of this juggler. Just juggling back and forth. Let me take out his Pokemon for free. Okay. Moment of truth against Koga. Come on, fire spin. Come on, fire spin. 70%. Oh, I didn't heal. And I missed. So that's fine. We're going to save again and then go. Stop it. If I get toxic there, by the way, I'm resetting immediately, because fire spin takes multiple turns and you're just going to end up knocking yourself out. Okay, couple crits. We like to see that. That's fun. Mainly we just needed it to hit. Oh my gosh, that took so much damage. Okay. Crit. If I had gotten a crit there, I could have won. Yeah, last time when I just beat Koga really easily, I told you that Koga could be a problem. You are experiencing that right now. You are seeing what Koga as a problem looks like. It looks like missed fire spins. It looks like toxic. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Just heal while it's fire spinning. If only. Although that would still be banned. Items in battle. But yeah, that would certainly make things a lot easier. All right, I went for body slam directly against the Venomoth here because the Venomoth really likes to troll you with Toxic. All right. Did we have a reset earlier, or was that our first reset against Koga? That was 4 resets against Koga, wasn't it? I think it's 4 resets against Koga. It's not great. It's definitely a slow Koga. But if we get a first try Giovanni, then all sins are forgiven. Okay, we have a full restore now for a status. That's nice. Ooh, I just ducked under the sign. I made it look like that was intentional. It wasn't, but kind of worked out nicely. Okay. We didn't get item blocked by him this time. The bag management hasn't been great this run, but it's been better than the previous run. So I'm using a repel there. Then we're going to teach surf and strength. I'm also going to toss toxic. And I'm going to teach rare candies and horn drill at the same time once we go back here. 4 rare candies up to level 44 for encounters here. And then horn drill is for Arcanine. And I'm not going to use horn drill on Seeking this time. He had the horn, you know, it's just like, it was so tempting. There was a horn there, and I remembered, oh, Seeking, that's right, I used horn attack and horn drill with Seeking. I played Seeking. I remember what to do with this Pokemon. Yeah, you could probably just body slam it. Okay. I always taught horn drill there, but then I remembered I just did that. I hope we don't... I hope I tossed enough items. I know I'm going to be able to pick up the secret key, but I'm not sure about Fire Blast. Fire Blast is the only thing I'm kind of worried about here. I really don't want to speak to Blaine multiple times. I'm trying to remember what's in my bag right now. Like, I did toss Toxic. Scott, we need a bag counter. I need to know if I have 19 or 20 items. I don't know if I have 19 or 20 items right now. All right, hopefully it's 19. But if I don't have enough items, then everyone, or if my bag is full, then everyone needs to blame Scott. Should have just gone with flinch there. Horn drill. Dang it. Oh boy. Yeah. We need Blaine to be kind. Please, Blaine. Please be kind. Okay. Oh gosh, that just doesn't do damage. Okay, nice. All right, we're gonna have a couple rolls at it. No, no. I wish we had the luck from last game. I think I am playing better. Objectively, I'm playing better in this playthrough, but we are not seeing it with the results, which I did warn you was possible. Okay. Okay. Oh, no. Items. Antidotes. I should have tossed the antidotes. Because after Koga, you never need antidotes. Bag counter, blackout counter, and bonk counter. Yeah, Scott has the other ones. I think I must just be using like I'm using a different version, so. Yeah, on the 4th day of Horn Drill. Oh my gosh. Oh, no, 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 no. We're about to see what this fight is like if I forget to teach Fire Blast. I think it's probably not great. Yeah. Oh, God. Oh, no. Well, okay. We know we can get through this fight without Fire Blast, but that's not the way to do it. Okay, then I need to use my PP ups as well. Mad respect to Scott for doing these runs all the time and speaking while he plays. If you've never done it before, by the way, speaking while you play is really hard. I tried it with chess back in the day, actually, and it's not easy. Even if you think, oh yeah, I'm really good at this, I can talk while I do it. It's a whole wow! I just made a Rapidash noise. It is harder than you think. If you haven't tried it before, forming any kind of sentence while you play and then like also playing well at the same time is very, very challenging. Okay. I am going to heal here because not only do I need to heal my health, I also have 3 body slams left, which could get a little sketchy against Sabrina if I get hit with a kinesis. Up, up, down, down, left. Okay. I didn't get lost in Sabrina's gym this time, so that's good. Oh, that was embarrassing. Okay. Yeah, you see how like I could have run out of body slam PP there. Actually, I would have run out of body slam PP there unless I had mixed in like stomps or something. I didn't want to mess with any of that on the fly. Okay. I just tried to read a comment and then I just started wandering all over the place. Welcome, Honeydew. Thank you for being here. Nice to see you. Super blabbermouth while you speedrun. Some long ums. Yeah. Yep. I hear that. Okay. Time to use some rare candies. I'm going to toss the other super potion because I think I actually will need the backspace. And then use 6 rare candies. I've run out of backspace before in Victory Road trying to pick up that rare candy. And this goes over Stomp. Okay, let's go. Let's go. I need a Fire Blast. And then I need a Friendly Persian. Hopefully I get hit with 1 Screech. And then we're going to need to do some work against the Rhydon. Okay, chill out, Persian. I probably would have survived that. I don't know why. I thought that was like a slash or something. But either way, it is very scary without yeah, I don't know. I shouldn't have reset. Objectively, that was a mistake. I still had a chance to win there if I got a short Fury swipes. Okay. Pulled the trigger a little too early. I think I was just thinking about the damage I took from the previous one, which was a crit. Okay. Come on. Anytime Persian. No, the Persian soloed me. Why? Why? Okay, so this is the only place where my rules are diverging from Scott's rules. I am not permitting Mimic under any circumstance for, I am not allowing, oh, here we go, not being able to talk again and play. I'm not allowing double team under any circumstances. Come on. Yeah. All right. Not bad. Not bad. Got past Giovanni. No, bring that 52 minutes down. It's going to be better than 52 minutes. Come on. Or are you just trying to make me look good when it's lower than 52 minutes? Yeah, fire spin can carry me, but okay. If you're routing this with Scott's rules, don't do any of that. Just beat him with double team. Double team is better. Just mimic double team, and the fight's much easier. The fight is harder if you don't allow yourself to use double team, but I think it creates for actually a more interesting scenario, right? So instead of just being able to double team and kind of spam my way through there, I have to like think about like, how do I manage it, you know? And then I get into the damage ranges and I say, okay, well, if I get X number of fire spins and X number of badge boosts, like this is how I can get past the fight. Now, even still, I had to be at a higher level. I had to get to level 55 for agility. You can beat that. You can set up 6 badge boosts with double team. And so you can win at a lower level and save yourself for some more efficient rare candies and stuff. So if you're playing with Scott's Thoughts rules, you can probably save a minute or 2 minutes just from that. Just from being able to use more efficient rare candies after that fight. That fight's more likely to, you're more likely to win it earlier and at a lower level. So it definitely creates a little more pain for fire types. And I understand, by the way, too, why Scott does this, because it would be pain for fire types, especially the ones that don't get moves like Horn Drill and, well, I guess all of them get, do all of them get fire spin? Oh, what am I doing? This is a trainer that I have to fight. Do all of them get fire spin? Maybe not. If you don't get fire spin, that could be a real big problem, that fight. Like, I don't even know how you win it without fire spin, unless you just train to a really high level, which obviously you don't want to do. The more training you do, the more you are saying, okay, this Pokemon cannot get a very low time, right? If you accept a lot of risk, then you open yourself up to just an awful playthrough, like a very, very long playthrough. But you are not seeding that it has to be a long playthrough. If you do a lot of training, you are seeding that it has to be a long playthrough. Like necessarily, it must be a long playthrough. Where's my full restore? There. Okay. Yeah, Arcanine doesn't get it. I wonder how bad Arcanine would be in this. Like, how bad would it be? Yes. Right, so the history of it, Scott, I think you've shared this before, right, was that technically the way your rules were written, it was allowed, and you realized that in the Porygon race. Which I understand, although you could have made a judgment call in the Porygon race and said, actually, I worded this wrong. You know, I don't think we should be using double team at all, even under this circumstance, right? You could have made that judgment call if you wanted to at that point in time, and you kind of made the you made the other decision, which is fine. It's wait, no fire spin anymore. It's fine to play under different rule sets. Okay, nice. We got the immediate rest. Last time, we got pretty good luck, but not against Lorelei. So we immediately got what we needed here, and we just need to hope that like the Slowbro doesn't crit us or something. Which, even though he's got a low crit rate, it does happen sometimes. Okay, come on. Oh, no! I spoke it into existence, and I misplayed too. I switched to Body Slam to finish it off with chip damage. I forgot it was setting up withdrawals. I needed to go Fire Blast again. Oh, gosh. Talk about a punish for a bad play. Oh, that was brutal. Okay, come on. Pull it back together, David. Fire Blast. Mimic. Amnesia. 2 Amnesias is what we need. It's not a guaranteed one hit against the Slowbro, but it is a range. And I don't think it makes sense setting up a third amnesia because you don't really need more than 2. Like, it doesn't play around crits if you set up 3. Okay, we need full restores near the top. Yeah, this is fine. Yeah, I think for some Pokemon, maybe it won't be more interesting. Like for the Pokemon which just have to train, like they don't get extra tools, like they don't have more answers. The only answer is more training. Maybe then it won't make it more interesting, right? But I think for Pokemon which get tools, it does make it more interesting. And I like playing Pokemon with tools. I don't really like playing Pokemon that don't have options. So that usually means I end up playing mid to high tier Pokemon. Yes. We got past the hiker, although the hiker has beaten us before. Okay, please don't troll me. Like, you can get stalled out of Fire Blast here. If you miss a couple Fire Blasts, if that first Gengar keeps setting up substitutes, it can get ugly. But I think we should be okay here. We just need to hit 2 Fire Blasts. Oh, don't. Why is the sleep lasting forever? Wake up! No! No, Agatha, why? That was such a bad Agatha. That's like 3 resets bad Agatha because I lost on the final Gengar and it was a long sleep. Oh, that is awful. I even like had extra turns because there was a burn and she's super like, oh, just okay. I'm gonna reset. I have 4. See, this is what I was telling you about. If you miss a couple times and that Gengar trolls you with substitutes, we are not gonna get a better time than the previous playthrough, by the way. But I do think that I played better. I thought I set up a substitute already. Okay, let's go. Let's try to get sub 50, save a little bit of our dignity. I joke, but like a lot of things have to go right to get a good playthrough with Rapidash, which is why I thought this would be a fun one to put on stream so that people can see the pain that goes into some of these playthroughs when it's like, probably this is going to end up being a produced video, right? Where I end up with some time that's like 42 or 43 minutes, right? Some awesome time. And you're going to see Rapidash that's going to be critting everything and it's going to be getting flinches left and right. You're going to be like, wow, Rapidash is an amazing Pokemon. It's so good. Look, it just has answers for everything. And the reality is, look, Horn Drill, first time, so easy. The reality is it does have answers for everything. However, those answers are inconsistent answers. So when it's working, it looks really good. But when you see like the failed attempts, it can look really, really ugly. By the way, we got a first try Lance there. So dominant, fire type, first try Lance, so easy. And then you look at like, oh, wait a minute, we're at 46 minutes, which is like, we're basically at the time from our last playthrough. What happened? Last time we had a bunch of resets at Lance, but we got luckier in other places. So you really just need a lot of puzzle pieces to align. Oh, by the way, that Sandslash is a range. Last time we had a first time champion, like first try champ, because we hit our ranges like a boss. It was like, okay, Fire Blast range, and then what? All right. That's supposed to be I forgot to teach double edge, and so I just horn drilled instead. Worked out quite nicely. That's one reason to, oh no. No. Okay. Horn drill. Horn drill. Work. Oh boy. Yeah. So like over 50 minutes could happen, right? This is a Pokemon that can go like low 40s or over 50 minutes if things go really wrong. Oh, I did it again. Okay, I should just probably... objectively, I should be saving horn drills here because I don't need to use that many. All right. Objectively, I should remember to teach the moves. Let's go. Okay. I used... Oh, I got the burn. I could have probably just tanked that damage. What? Oh, wait. There might be a little bit of delay. Well, I got slower because of paralysis, but then I used an agility to get faster again. At least I think I did. Okay, we're going to eat some damage here. It's not great. I got a special drop. I can't win with a special drop. So last time you saw a first-time champion, and this is not a first-time champion. We need to win on this try, or we're not going to get sub 50. Come on. Nice. Hit the range. Nice. 2 agilities. And then if we get hit with a Thunder Wave or get paralyzed by the Magneton, we can use that third agility that we have to recover our speed. So that's like a nice kind of a nice small optimization in this playthrough. We're going to double edge to finish it off. Okay, Fire Blast. And now we need to land a Horn Drill before it quick attacks us to death. It can use Reflect too, and there we go. Okay, we did it. We saved sub 50. 49 minutes, 44 seconds with 17 resets. I'm curious to see what the game time is. I think it felt like I played a little cleaner than last run, although not as clean as I have been off of stream. But I think this gives you, between these two playthroughs, like a really good feel for like what Rapidash looks like. Okay, 250. So it was a faster game time than my previous runs, but in my practice runs, I've been getting like 243, 244 game time. So figure a minute and a half faster. Just cleaner play, not distracted trying to talk and manage things at the same time. Actually makes a big difference. But I think that you get a good feel if you've watched these two playthroughs for how Rapidash feels. Sometimes completely dominant, other times it just gets completely wrecked. And that's what happens when you're going for really peak performance. Now you could do like the Ike the Killer thing where you just shout out to Ike, do more training than this. And then you can look even more dominant. But I decided not to go with that for Rapidash for a few reasons. And one is that its training's not that fast. There are some Pokemon which train really quickly. Like Arcanine can train much faster than Rapidash because of access to the move Dig. And while Dig is a 2-turn move, like that ground coverage makes training against like all those Silph scientists and all those bikers with poison types. Like it just goes much, much faster when you're fighting electric and poison types in the mid game. And so Arcanine, even though it's a slow growth rate Pokemon, the actual training, like the battles, happen a lot faster. And when the battles happen a lot faster, it just means that like you can afford more training. With Rapidash, you really feel the pain of fighting these optional trainers. And you have to buy more potions for Rapidash too. So Rapidash is a bit more frail. And when it gets low on HP, you have to use a super potion. That costs time. So the training doesn't feel as free. It's a little bit slower as far as turns. You're taking more damage because you're not getting as many one-shots. And then when you do take damage, your HP stat's low and you have to keep healing yourself. So there's a lot of reasons why I thought the better way to route this Pokemon is to take a lot more risks. I think anything with under 10 resets is acceptable for Rapidash. Because I really believe that if you trained to where most Pokemon, the sweet spot is like 5 resets or less. Most Pokemon in an optimized playthrough, you want to see, depending on how strong the Pokemon is and what its strengths are, between 0 and 5 resets. Like if you're a Blastoise, you probably want to see 0 or 1 resets. If you're a Mew, the same thing. If you're playing with a Pokemon like Charizard, maybe you're okay with taking 3 or 4 resets because maybe a couple of those are quick ones against Lance. With Rapidash, I think anything under 10 resets is going to be an acceptable number of resets because you just, and hopefully some of those are quick ones again against Lance. You want the quick ones. You don't want the really slow ones. We got like a really slow one against Agatha, like a brutal, brutal reset. One of those 17 is worth like 3 resets. This is like a 20 reset run. Conversely, the quick resets, you can kind of accept those. You miss a range against Sandslash against the champion. Okay, you take a quick reset. Same thing as Lance with the Gyarados, take a quick reset. Miss a Horn Drill, whatever. You don't want too many of those resets because those add up as well. But certainly they don't hurt nearly as bad as the long resets. Losing to Agatha's final Gengar. Losing to Lorelei's Lapras. Losing late in the champion battle, like to a quick attack, those hurt a lot more. So it depends on the nature of the resets. I could see like even a 12 reset run if most of those were against Lance being pretty fast with Rapidash. But I think most likely 10 is, under 10. Something like 7 or 8 resets with Rapidash is probably going to be where I feel like, okay, this is a good playthrough for Rapidash, and this is where I'm okay calling it quits. By the way, I do think that number is going to be a lot better than if you train to say level 70 for a 3 reset run. Like an 8 to 10 reset run at level 64 is going to be much, much faster than a level 70 playthrough, even probably with 0 resets, because the training's not fast. And the higher the level you go, the slower the training is. So anyway, with that, we've done 2 playthroughs. I'm feeling pretty good, but I think this is great for my inaugural sort of YouTube live experience. We had a little bit of tech issues at the beginning, but it seems like it went smooth after that. I will be curious to I'll pop in and watch my own VOD afterwards and see what the quality was like. Watch it for a few minutes and see, okay, what did the camera look like? Was there lag with the gameplay? I'm curious to see how it turned out. But thanks everyone for being here. Thank you, Perky Penguin, Cody Smith. Thank you, Scott. Thank you, D1D. Thank you, Emra. Thank you for anyone else who is lurking in the chat, or lurking, watching, and not participating in the chat. If you're here, if you watched it, thank you for being here. Appreciate you, everybody, and I will catch you guys next time. Oh, and thank you, Honeydew. Thank you for being here. Thanks, everybody.